Keep it going for Joe in the booth, everybody. Yeah, and yourselves, Saturday Late Crowd. It's going to get weird, right? Saturday Late Crowd is always the best show, so if you came in here not really with the energy for the best show, whether you like it or not, we're having the best show. It's one of the best comedy clubs in the country. I have a theory as to why. I think it's because we have something for everyone. Millennials, pay attention for the single moment you physically can. Start with you first. We got your hashtags, we got your ats, we're on social media. We got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tinder if you look hard enough. Generation X, a lot of us wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your single greatest contribution to society, the website. Let's hear it for the website. The only good thing that came out of Generation X that didn't OD or kill itself. Definitely worth celebrating. Baby boomers, hate to be the first person to leave you out of anything, you perfect saint souls that you are. You definitely didn't ruin the planet for anyone. Wasn't you? Someone else. Must have been North Korea. Or the Russians. You were alive when they were the enemy. Now they're the enemy again. It's like a rerun. We stream. They rerun. It's all right. I'm very happy to be here. I'm going out on a high note. This is my last show of 2017. It's a huge honor to do at the Comedy Club on State, especially considering the year I had, 2017. A little rough, a lot of stress, a lot of problems. All of them first world problems, but as far as I know, they're the worst kind. I've had the worst problems. Good example of the kind of problem I've been having, good example would be my brother's bachelor party. Yeah, that's the kind of trauma I've been enduring. Some of you might be like, well, how did a bachelor party turn into a trauma? What happened to it? I happened to it. What happened? I was invited, and then my wife assumed I'd be going to a strip club. I myself was on the fence because I'd never been to one before. I'm 33 years old. Never been to a strip club for the same reason I didn't drink in high school or smoke weed in college. I was never invited. Pretty straightforward. I only assume that behind my back, people call me Danny Downer. That's just an assumption. I feel like it's a safe assumption. I wouldn't be surprised if they got a little more creative, something like Narky McBuzzkill. Would make sense. Did my fair share of snitching. And even when I wasn't doing that, I was definitely pumping the brakes on the old fun bus. That's classic me. So I was invited, my wife assumes I'm going. At this point in my life, I was trying to turn around, trying to become less of a no person, more of a yes person. So I'm thinking, let's go see what the fuss is about with the naked ladies and whatnot. Roll the dice, give that a try. So we're getting closer to the bachelor party. A couple days away, my wife just kind of pulls me aside in the hallway, casually, afternoon, we're both kind of doing chores. She's like, hey, by the way, I meant to mention, just put it out there. If you get a lap dance, I don't need to know about it. Which is a statement I took at face value. I'm thinking, this is probably the only time I'm going to go to a strip club. Why go and see what some of the fuss is about? And I can go and see what all of the fuss is about. Turns out that's not what that conversation was about. She was not casually trying to convince me that it wouldn't bother her if I got a lap dance. She was desperately trying to convince herself that it wouldn't bother her if I got a lap dance. Found that out the moment I got home because the first syllables out of her mouth were, "Did you get a lap dance?" And I was upset by this because, irony of ironies, I felt betrayed. I thought the lap dance was going to cost $40 because the scantily clad psych major told me it would. It cost me $80 because $40 is also the copay for my wife's therapist. All of a sudden, she had some things she needed to process. Such as, if my husband is capable of doing something I didn't think he would do, but gave him permission to do, what on earth else is he capable of? Could he lie? Is he a liar? Is he lying to me? Cheating? Could he cheat? Is he cheating on? Could he be an abuser? A kill? Is he the Zodiac killer? Is he a Republican? He looks like a Republican. Paul Ryan was from Janesville. So there were a series of conversations that we had over a number of days. I'm an honest guy. For the sake of honesty, I did have to admit to my wife that I did do something during the dance that not a lot of people do. I closed my eyes. I closed them hard. I had to force myself to open my eyes by reminding myself that I paid $40 good of my wife's money to see this dance. I didn't just close my eyes. I clenched my jaw, pushed myself back in the chair, and white-knuckled the whole thing. Some of you are like, no, that can't be possible. He's a man, for God's sakes. He didn't clench his jaw, shut his eyes. Need I remind you, I'm Narky McBuzzkill. That's who's talking to you. When I buy Captain Crunch, I buy the kind without crunch berries. You see a picture of me from high school with a Dare shirt on, no irony whatsoever. In fact, I didn't start drinking till I was 25, and then I quit because the one irresponsible thing I was doing that was a little bit of fun was too much fun. I don't like it that he doesn't drink. It's very un-Wisconsin. We need to get him out of here. Stop laughing and he'll leave. I mentioned my wife is in therapy. She's not the only one of the two of us that's been in therapy. Therapy is the reason I got into comedy. I went to see a therapist. I started telling her my problems. She's like, are you joking? I said, no. She's like, you have to leave. Happened a lot. I think I'm the only person this happened to. I'm actually blacklisted from therapy. Not a therapist in Wisconsin will take my case. They say it's not a case. One was pretty mean about it. She said, listening to your problems is a waste of my time. I said, well, I would have said, isn't having my problems a waste of my life? But she had already shut the door. And locked it, which I felt was unnecessary. One therapist was nicer about it. On the way, as she was escorting me out, she did one little piece of advice. She's like, and maybe don't compare yourself to Hitler so much. Just a suggestion. I need to clarify, I was not comparing myself in any aspirational sense. That's not what it was a very self-deprecating sense. I was taking stock of where I was in my demographic. Like, I got light skin, dark hair, love being in front of a microphone, feel like I'm towing a line. Desperately trying not to grow a mustache. Learned more about Hitler, learned that he was obsessed with the paranormal, supernatural, stuff like that. Looked over at my Harry Potter DVDs. I'm like, I need to talk this out. Kept learning more about Hitler. Found out, I think the important thing to remember about Hitler is he was an ideas guy. I think that's the important thing to remember. More important, though, he stole most of his ideas, which makes him the Carlos Mencia of genocide. He stole a lot of his ideas from former President of the United States of America, Andrew Jackson. Stole a lot from there. Andrew Jackson is finally, at last, being removed from the $20 bill and replaced with Harriet Tubman. Yeah. The guy who wooed was definitely a white guy. Good for you, man. Proactive. That's what I like to do. Here's the problem, though. Harriet Tubman had a $20 bill. Now, instead of having Harriet Tubman to trade for goods and services, we'll have pictures of Harriet Tubman to trade for goods and services. I know. I don't like it. I didn't make the decision. Probably someone who looks like me made the decision. I didn't make the decision. If it was my job to figure out a way to honor the legacy of a woman who escaped being a commodity, wouldn't have made her a commodity. Thanks, everybody. That's been my time. I've been Dan Bacula.